Good afternoon, everyone. This is Andrea Howe in her spare bedroom trying to work out how to live because we can't go out. Just before we start, I just thought I'd show you that we're working on the module Community Development. Yes, I'm in my spare room and the sun is shining, so it's all good. Today we're going to look at the aspects of community development that will help you complete this task. It's really, really important to start with that you make sure that you complete all of the reading that's set for you. If you don't do that, you're not going to be able to lay the foundations for this unit. Community development is really important. Never has there been a time in the whole of the world where we have needed community more than ever just at this minute. We've come so far with community development. David Cameron thought about the big society. Well, now we really need to have it. It's really important that everybody steps up and helps one another. And as we get through this time of isolation and I can't stress enough, before we talk about any type of community development, we need to follow the guidance. It's really important that you stay 2 meters away from people and that you keep in your homes and you use the hand washing rule. It is quite simple, really, and we can change the world if we do this. Regarding this unit, the actual foundations of community started years ago. Absolutely vital that everybody within society takes a role and a responsibility, and unless we can do that, then we're not going to help anybody. We've got charities. The NSPCC was created 10 years after the RSPCA, which means we valued animals at one time and then we thought about our children. It's really important at the minute that charities and local and national government, everyone joins together to help in this cause. So there's never been a better time to do this unit. So when you're doing this unit, you need to think back to socialisation and the way we've been socialised. It's really important to think about primary and secondary socialisation and how these things have impacted our family life and our culture and context. Then we need to think about functionalism and sociological perspectives around how people should function and how society should function. And with community approaches, it's really important that if a society is not functioning, that the community groups can step in and help, just like they're doing now. Regarding community development, you need to be mindful of the context and culture in terms of our economy. We've just come through a state of austerity even. It's really, really important that we make sure that we think about austerity and where we've come from. We're just getting the economy back on track. But now we're going to face another real tough period where businesses struggle and everybody struggles financially. How can we help? We need to think about that. And this unit, community development, is really, really a brilliant way to start and think about new initiatives. People are doing it all the time. I'm on here because I can't see my students, and it's good to see a face on things, really. So we're doing what we can to help. And in this assignment, you've got to think about what you're passionate about. So if you're really, really passionate about young people, teenagers, then crack on with that and do all the research and see what's out there for them. The same for families. If you're thinking about families, we know that we've come through a real tough period where all the children's centres have been closed and there's not a lot of soft services to help families and, for that matter, teenagers. Early interventions limited, and we were just starting to get back on track with this, and now obviously it's going to be devastating again. So it's really, really important that you research locally and nationally what is out there for children and families. There isn't a lot out there, but nonetheless, at this time there are groups that are starting to rise up already to try and get things in place so that children and families feel supported. I myself work with my husband on Parenting for Life. We run an Instagram page, and it talks about 24/7 parenting. 24/7 parenting is a parenting course for parents of teenagers where they really feel that they can't cope and they really struggle and they just need that little bit of help. People that come to my group come because they feel down on themselves and they feel that they don't have any more answers in terms of how to deal with their teenagers. And in this course, we, all of us, including me, find ourselves on a level playing field, because actually we've all got teenagers and we all struggle sometimes. So it's not about the elitist parenting worker. It's actually about people who can try to say, I need help, and go to that course and get some help. So parenting, 24/7 parenting is a course that you can enroll on at New College that will help you as a parent. And if in your community development project you're thinking about doing a study on teenagers and the support for teenagers and their families, if you look at 24/7 parenting, then that's a great resource that we have, which is a free course that anybody can go on. I don't claim to have all the answers when I teach it, but what I do is try and just lay foundational stuff for parents that will help them to take back control of their family. Really important. For those people that, for their project on community development, that might want to choose family support, we do have parent support advisors and family support workers out there. We do have charities that can help families, but it's really important to think about where you could put on some stay and play sessions for families, maybe around healthy eating and health and hygiene at the moment. That would be really good when we get out of this. But nonetheless, we need to rebuild after we've gone through this corona crisis. Today, you need to do your research from the books provided and the resources and journals. Don't forget to look for the National Occupational Standards for community development work. That's really important to lay a foundation to start to write up the introduction to your community report. Once you've done that, then you need to specialise in your two areas that you've chosen, which is teenagers and support for teenagers and working with families. And go on to Swindon Borough Council's website, see what's out there on My Care and My Support. And when you've done that, you will probably find that there are groups out there that you can tap into to work out how you could support families and teenagers in terms of community support. Then you can start to put a proposal together with an aim, an objective and a rationale, a reason to why you would want to do this. So lots of quotes needed here to back up and to have evidence for what you're doing. Once you've done that, you can then start to look at the National Occupational Standards to support what you're doing. And remember, with community work, it's always about preparation, having a team around you that are qualified, that have the checks to enable you to do that community group. Also, you need to think about sustainability. How can you sustain your project in the short term and the long term? It's really tough. And if you're anything like me in the work that I do with my husband, we tend to not be able to charge too much because we see the need rather than trying to take money off people. So it does mean that sometimes you cannot sustain your work because you can't pay yourself a wage, and therefore your time is stretched because you have to do another job as well. This is my first video. I will continue to do videos to help you, and I'm going to upload it to YouTube to see if I can get it on the college VLE for you. Thank you. Email me anytime, day or night. I'll be on the email to help you and support you. Bye for now.